let me start by introducing Nexus HyperFabric and what Nexus HyperFabric is about. Nexus HyperFabric is a cloud-managed networking that offers a purpose-built vertical stack. And why is it purpose-built? So remember I mentioned that when we designed this solution, we started from scratch, right? And you will understand a little, in the next couple of slides, you will understand why, because there's been a lot of innovation to solve some of these really challenging issues that a lot of our customers, such as yourself, are facing. And so for that reason, we wanted to simplify the experience and bringing it to that brand new data center experience. So really simplifying the design stage, the deployment, and the operation of fabrics anywhere in the world, right? Whether we have 10 sites here in Indonesia, or we have just 2 sites, or we have sites across ASEAN, across APJC, across Asia Pacific, or across the entire world, all can be managed from a single point, from a controller that's cloud delivered and cloud managed, right? The hardware lives on premises, right? And so why we see, if we just take a step back here, why this solution and why now? We're seeing a major demand for cloud-like experience, right? We've seen over the last couple of years, maybe last 10 years, right? We've seen a big rise of cloud networking and cloud providers growing their offering, and a lot of customers moving their application to cloud. Actually, if you ask me, maybe 5 years ago, there was a hype about cloud, right? Everybody's going to cloud. Everything's going to cloud. And I think today, we're starting to see it kind of balancing out a little bit. And we're starting to see that not every application is optimized for cloud. Sure, there are a lot of applications that are very suitable for cloud, right? They thrive there, they're excellent, they're efficient, right? And they provide great return on investment. But not all applications are built for that. And a lot of applications actually are still running on premises, or we have actually customers that move their applications to the cloud. And guess what? Over time, their bills go in which direction? Up or down? Up, right? Up, always up. And the thing is, I don't think I've ever spoken to a customer that told me, oh, we have less data now than we had 5 years ago. Our data is not growing, right? Because with time, as more and more applications become and businesses become digitized, there's more data to process, there's more data to store, and that equals to higher cost when it's in the cloud, right? And so as that curve is becoming almost exponential, customers are now here reaching a point where they are thinking about, how do we optimize this? And if I want to optimize this, maybe I will bring some of these applications that are data heavy back to on-premises, or I decide not to actually migrate them to the cloud, right? And I've actually spoken to a number of customers that are moving all of their workloads back to on-premises now, right? Because their costs they pay to AWS and Azure and Google Cloud are exceeding the cost of buying the hardware up front, right? And so not all customers are in that place, so maybe, of course, everybody's different, but there are those instances. And so we are expecting to see this optimization where customers are targeting that hybrid approach, right? Where, sure, the applications that are suitable for cloud will live in cloud, but the applications that are more suited for on-premises will live on-premises, and we will have this hybrid approach. And then, of course, there's the regulatory requirements or compliance requirements that might dictate that some data cannot actually live in the cloud, right? But what are the benefits of cloud? The benefits of cloud are it's scalable, right? It's very quick to deploy because the infrastructure has already been built for you, right? You don't need to worry about that, right? And the risk is taken away from the organization and is put onto somebody else, right? On the cloud provider. So you are there to consume it. You plug in your services or enable your applications, and you consume the service. And so, what if we could bring that same experience and the benefits to on-premises? And that's really what Nexus HyperFabric is about, right? Bringing a cloud-like experience and simplicity to on-premises. And so, when we're talking about simplicity, it should be easy enough that an IT generalist or application team or DevOps team can set up a fabric. And I will do a quick demo for you. Hopefully no issues with the connection here. But we will do a real live demo with real hardware, and I will do a design from scratch. I will have no design. I will do, including the design, to a fully functioning VXLAN fabric in under 10 minutes. That's the level of simplicity. The only inputs I'm going to put in are how many switches I want, aka how many ports I need, and I will provide what kind of cables I want to use for the optics, right? That's all I really need to get the entire fabric running, and I'll show that in about 15-20 minutes. And so the entire solution was built to be outcome driven, right? Just like, all right, what do we trying to achieve? I want to run my applications effectively. I want to be able I want to make sure that they are cost effective. I have ownership, and I can do that all very quickly and repeatedly, right? So, hey, I've done this once, now I can simplify that and just replicate what I already have. Or I want to scale up or down. Those are usually pretty big tasks, right? Like I have a network of, let's say I have 2 spine, 4 leaf switches today. I want to expand on that. That's a lot of planning, right? Well, what switches do I need to do? How do I get there? Like what's the work involved, right? I might need to engage some professional services. Here, everything is automated and very, very simple to scale up or to scale down, right? I want to remove switches. I want to add switches, and it will actually do a lot of the work for me without any input, without ever touching CLI, and without ever understanding what VXLAN is. I don't need to know anything about VXLAN. I don't need to understand what BGP EVPN is. I don't need to understand what any of those protocols that will be running in VXLAN are to do that. I can achieve all these tasks very simply, and you'll understand what I mean.